Hello everybody, it's me, Player Negative, and yet again we are talking about the Super Mario Galaxy movie. And today we are talking about a YouTube channel's personal review on it. You know her from the channel Behind the Trailers. Now, you may remember this one person as the same person who had that really dumb take on the Sonic movie 3, and how she just made some of the dumbest comments here. So now she's going to talk about the Mario Galaxy movie. So without further ado, let's get into it.
This is going to be a delicate conversation. Some of you aren't going to want to hear it, but I always am very honest with you guys. So let's do this. So sequels are usually supposed to make more than their predecessors, but not this one. Super Mario Galaxy is coming in under the first film. What a shocker, especially since so many people made it their life's goal, or at least their month goal, to just really stick it to Disney with this movie. But here we are. I mean, it's still, look, even if Super Mario Galaxy doesn't hit $1 billion, and I think that's a potential possibility, as you'll see when we go through these statistics, but I still think it'll come in at around $900 million. Oh no, the world's smallest violin. It's fine. It's a little bit maybe like Minions. First movie made $1 billion, second movie only in the 900s, but yet Minions 3 is still coming out this summer. And I gotta tell you, looks the best of the bunch. So, Super Mario movies will continue to be made, and we're gonna discuss that. But first, let's discuss what's actually happening before we discuss what's coming down the line potentially, right? So what's happening is that Super Mario Galaxy is slightly down across the board. It has a lower critic score. A lot of you were anticipating that, but I bet you weren't expecting this. Lower audience scores, and I'm going to include the post-track polling in here as well. I don't usually do that, but I want to show you the whole picture. And now, lower box office. More men showed up like last time, but according to the trades, it was actually women who liked the film the best or would recommend it the most, perhaps because of all the princess power.
Are you going to show us the statistics for that, or are you just going to say that with no evidence to back it up?
Speaking of demos, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this, Super Mario Galaxy had a significant drop with Latino audiences, even though that's what really powered the first film. In fact, it dropped everywhere but Caucasian moviegoers. And
Why is that something you're focusing on? Someone's race shouldn't be a thing you should check or use to determine whether or not your audience likes something. This is my problem with Hollywood. They only see you as a group or a demographic. They never see you as an audience. So when you ask someone a question about why the movie is bad, they just blame you.
This is interesting to me because conservatives have now gotten behind the second big release in a row this year, declaring these entries non-woke and therefore claiming them for the conservative movement. I have to say, both these movies are doing exceptionally well, and I had contributed this to the Top Gun movement, right? Or the Top Gun factor, Top Gun Maverick, where you have a film that appeals hopefully to everybody. But as we get more political and more divided, and one group, who usually is on the outside of the entertainment business, really starts to stake aggressive ownership of certain movies, will that affect how the other group, usually who powers movies, reacts? I'm curious.
First of all, it's not conservatives. It's normal people who are tired of so many movies lecturing them with political ideologies that barely anyone agrees with. Number two, studios like Illumination, Disney don't actually care about minorities. They only care about money and are always willing to underpay certain people based off their gender, race, or any other cultural ethnicity. So I don't want to hear the whole conservative rant.
Are you noticing the increased politicization of the entertainment space? Does it make a difference to you? Does it affect? Is there changes? I'm very curious to hear your thoughts on this. Positive side, I know some Nintendo fans are like, give me some positivity.
That's all they care about, and that's all they can stomach.
Well, here's some. This is by far and away the biggest opening of the year to date, and it's the fourth biggest Easter opening ever. These are 3 days, and as you can see, Minecraft opened a little bigger, but that did copy Super Mario Brothers release strategy.
No, they didn't. The only strategy I could possibly think of that they copied from Minecraft is having a lack of substance. The movie was completely different in how it provided towards its marketing and how it basically had a lot of pushback from people either liking it or hating it due to the fact that people thought it should have been animated. So I don't know what you're talking about on that section of things.
And it has like a newness to it, right? And it was such, I feel people knew going in that it was a big party, even opening weekend. And that didn't get to $1 billion either, by the way. Why does Super Mario Galaxy need to get to $1 billion? We've just been talking about this with Marvel and DC. Check out those videos. Links down below. But I think what's particularly concerning is when a franchise gets into the $1 billion club, but then falls out of it. That is, I think, particularly a warning sign to the people who are making the film. Like, you messed up a little. You're losing your audience. You're losing your ground a little. And you don't want to keep losing ground. So, some franchises maybe should have done this and wouldn't have ended up losing as much ground as they eventually did.
This is very true. A lot of good franchises that a lot of people love lost the revenue and money that they gained from the box office in the past. But do you know why that is? Studio executives and certain people with political ideologies bastardizing these franchises into something irreversibly unrecognizable just for the sake of pushing a minority or a political message.
So I think this is I think Nintendo and Illumination Universal should be paying attention and should be like, whoa, we need to nip this in the bud before it becomes a genuine issue for our movies. Why do you think the Super Mario Galaxy movies' opening numbers are lower than the first?
Well, I can think of a few reasons. Number one, the story doesn't have much substance. The pacing was sped up halfway. It was all spectacle, and there wasn't really much to it. And due to the fact that the small majority of people buying the tickets were mainly Nintendo fanboys and normies, and not really many other people.
There are so many things that it could be, especially this early in the game. Online piracy, the economy, the war on Hollywood. Maybe the conservatives vouching for this movie, can't overcome conservatives overall saying Hollywood sucks.
Again, enough with the conservatives. It's just normal people who don't like the fact that a lot of writers and creators have been pushed to the side because of usage of AI, as well as woke ideologies being shoved into everything. People are tired of it. Again, not conservatives.
Did casuals drop out after the first one, right? On that note, has the critic score, which is now so low, finally begun to take a toll, right? I even saw, though, some Nintendo fans saying this one was not as good, with a lot of fans feeling that Super Mario World should have come before Super Mario Galaxy, because that's the order that the games were released. And then also maybe, as I and many reviewers have said, some of us more politely than others, that maybe it's just not a good movie, right? And also, another thing I heard from Super Mario fans is that Galaxy is like the one Super Mario game that actually kind of does have a story, and a good one at that. So they were frustrated that it wasn't adapted for the movie named after the game.
That you are correct. To be honest, a lot of the fact is that people are tired of Hollywood sanding down anything serious or heavy. And the fact is, the Mario Galaxy movie had a lot of issues because it never stayed true to that game, which had a really good, deep, and intricate story, which many hold dear to this day.
Also, I saw some more fans who were not too happy with some of the changes made to Rosalina's backstory. What do you think? That's the past. What do you think of the future of the Super Mario animated movies? Which game should be adapted next? Smash Brothers, as some people were hoping this one would set up a little bit more strongly. Odyssey? I was looking through the Super Mario games. This is the best-selling Super Mario game since the first one. That was from 2017, Odyssey. The latest game, Wonder, right? And I saw a couple of people saying it should be Luigi's Mansion, which I got exposed to when people are making jokes about the last House of the Dragon season, with saying that Matt Smith's character was basically in Luigi's Mansion. So
Actually, it's already been confirmed and stated that the next movie they're planning on making is a Donkey Kong movie.
I'm kind of into that. So again, what do you think is the problem or the issue right now? And how do you think it can be fixed going forward? But here's some more good news. While the North America numbers are noticeably softer, the overseas numbers are a little bit stronger and make up for the gap with the global number, which is just 7 million behind the first movie. And hey, overseas box office is what powered Zootopia 2 to almost $2 billion. And in fact, especially when it comes to these big animated movies, especially from Illumination, they do the bulk of their business overseas. So, Super Mario Galaxy, there's still hope for $1 billion. It's Price is Right rules. It just has to get $1 billion, right? It's got to be $1 in there. So I think that is still possible. But, again, I think the lowest it's going to end up is in the 900 million range, maybe 800 million. But that to me seems unlikely. I think, I think it'll be just fine. And of course, Nintendo is, again, this is mostly to point out that it's actually maybe not that great a movie and that the franchise has a little bit of they need to recalibrate a little bit.
A little bit? Woman, you have no idea what they need to fix. They have a lot of work to do if they ever chose to go down that route, which sadly, I don't see them changing anytime soon. They opened Pandora's box with the game key cards, so as far as I'm concerned, we're screwed. Well, that's it for today. I'm Player Negative. I hope you enjoyed the video. I got a few other videos planned later on down the line. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on all notifications. That really helps the channel.